जयति पराशर सोनुः सत्यवती हृदय नंदनो व्यासः यस्य आस्य कमलगलितं वाङ्मयमततं जगत्पिबति व्यासाय भवनाशाय श्रीशाय गुणराशये हृद्याय शुद्धविद्याय मध्वाय च नमो नमः। नारायणं सुरगुरुं जगदेकनाथं भक्तप्रियं सकललोकनमस्कृतं च त्रैगुण्यवर्जितं अजं विभुम् आद्यम् ईशं वन्दे भवग्नम् अमरासुरसिद्धवन्द्यं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। My dear friends, the shloka what I chanted now, Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. This is the first shloka of Mahabharata. Mahabharata, I just told you, it has got 1 lakh verses. Out of that 1 lakh verses, this is the first shloka which is there in Mahabharata. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Because we are discussing here the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a part of Mahabharata. So we should know what is the first shloka of Mahabharata. So I thought I should tell you about this. Narayanam Namaskritya. So Narayana is the ultimate. Narayana is the supreme God. So S-VYASA Rishi, though he is the incarnation of Jnana, or he is the supreme Godhead who has incarnated for the purpose of giving knowledge to the people in Kali Yuga. Because people in Kali Yuga, he knows very well that they cannot study Vedas, they cannot go into the depth of the Vedas, Upanishads. There are many people who cannot go into the depth of the Vedas. For those, Stri Shudra Brahma Bandhunam Trayina Shruti Gochara. This is the statement of S-VYASA Rishi. He says, Stri Shudra Brahma Bandhunam Trayina Shruti Gochara. For all these people, they cannot undergo the in-depth study of Vedas. So for them, I am composing this Mahabharata. This is what the opinion of S-VYASA Rishi. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Nara and Narottama. Devim Saraswati Vyasam. So he just takes the name of Saraswati because Saraswati is the God who represents the knowledge. Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udire. So when we take the name of Saraswati, definitely there will be victory. So that conviction we should have. So this is what S-VYASA Rishi says before commencing the Mahabharata, composition of Mahabharata. He just composed, so we should know that whether he wrote Mahabharata or what. Writing was not in practice during the period of S-VYASA. Whether he wrote, writing what we say, that may not be correct actually, because he composed. All these are mental compositions. Mental composition means just he constructed all the shlokas just in his mind and it was done. That's all. He had all the memory to say that to the people there. So that is the reason we need to say that he just composed it mentally. Like in Ramayana, Valmiki did not write the 24,000 shlokas there. He just did mental composition. So that's why we say, the Shastra says, Smaranam Grantha Kriti. Just Smarana. When they just think of that shloka is done. And they need not record it or write it for the purpose of. That's why we call it as Shruti and Smruti. Shruti means listening. That's why Shruti means Vedas. Vedas are also called as Shruti. Smruti means remembering. Shruti, Smruti, Puranadi. That's what we say. Shruti, Smruti and Purana. So the whole thing is a mental composition and nobody started writing it. Very recently we started recording everything in manuscripts. So the manuscript, the period of manuscript started very recently, not before. There was no practice of writing and keeping it. Nobody used to see the book. Before saying Vedas or something, Puranas are done. Because everything was in the practice of Shruti and Smruti. That's all. So even today, we can have the Vedas, Puranas, means it is because of that practice. When we started to write and record everything, then our mental power started to reduce. Because mind is such a thing, how we train the mind, it behaves like that. When we started using our external sources, external resources, when we started to use, the mind power started going down. It started to say, when you are using all those external things, then why should I remember? You have written in the book, no, you just go and see. I will not remember. That was the attitude of the mind. So we need to strengthen our mind so that we can explore the capacity of the mind. Even in the Nimhans Institute, so they study of mind, they say that we are not even using the power of brain 1%. 99% of the power of the brain is being wasted. So we don't know our own brain power. So that's why different people, we have different capacities individually. So S-VYASA Rishi gave this Mahabharata. So in that Mahabharata, we are into the Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, what is the preparation and all I just told you. And how to do Karanyasa, Anganyasa, how it is important before starting the auspicious chanting of Bhagavad Gita. Before going into Bhagavad Gita, we need to know the glory. So I think many of you know the glory of Bhagavad Gita. So there, S-VYASA Rishi, he gives in 7 verses. I have referred only 1 or 2 in my previous sessions there. So I would like to go in gist. So what are the glories of Bhagavad Gita? Then step by step we will go into Dhyana Shloka and then Bhagavad Gita, how to study. Bhagavad Gita study, we need to know not just by reading the shlokas. So we need to practice the procedure, how to study. Adhyayana, that's what it says in Gita, glory of Bhagavad Gita. Gita Mahatmya, that's most important. Gita Shastra Vidam Punyam, Yafpathe Prayatah Puman, Vishno Padamavapnoti, Deshokadi Bhajita. I think many of my students, they know this, Bhagavad Gita, because before I start Bhagavad Gita class, for anyone, BSc or MSc, I make them to chant this glory of Bhagavad Gita. Because the glory of Bhagavad Gita should be there in our mind. That is the preparation first. So we need to respect what we chant first. So that glory should come to your mind. Then only you can enter into real Bhagavad Gita. So Gita Shastram Idam Punyam. Yah Pate Prayatah Puman. Prayatah means you should chant that with force. That means your mind will not allow you to chant or do sankalpa. When you want to chant Bhagavad Gita, your mind will drag somewhere. No, let us not chant. Let us not listen to some disco music. Or something else we do. That is material. So, Prayatah Puman. Prayata means prayasa. Karna chahiye aapko. Bhagavad Gita chanting karna hai hame. We need to chant Bhagavad Gita. That sankalpa itself will bring you a concentration in your mind there. Gita Shastram Idam Punyam. Gita means a song of God, that is. Idam Punyam. Punya means it is auspiciousness. It is very auspicious. Yaf Patet, one who chants this with prayasa, that is with all his mind concentration, make the mind, train the mind, say to the mind that no, I don't want to go anywhere. Let me chant and sit here. So this is what the type of training we should train the mind. Yah Pate Prayatah Puman, Vishnoho Padamavapnoti. So what is the ultimate result of this? If you do practice this, not for one day, the whole of your life, if you do this, Vishnoho Padamavapnoti. Vishnu Pada means what? It is the ultimate moksha. Because everybody strives here for the Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Chaturvida Purushartha. These are the 4 important principles for which we are all doing sadhana. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So our ultimate goal is Moksha. That is Vishnu Pada. Vishnu Pada means Katham Vishnu Padam Proktam Takram Shakrasya Durlabham. There is a saying. How is it easy to get Vishnu Pada? They say that Durlabha, Takram Shakrasya Durlabham. They give the answer. There is a shloka which says this in Subhashita. Jayantaha Kasya Vaisutaha Bhojanante Chakimpeyam Jayantaha Kasya Vaisutaha Katham Vishnu Padam Proktam. These are the three questions which are asked there. And the answer is in the fourth part. Takram Shakrasya Durlabham. Takram means buttermilk. So, what is the first question there? So, Bhojanante Chaki Peyam. What we should drink at the end of our meals? Buttermilk, it says. Takram. Then Jayantaha Kasya Vaisutaha. Jayanta means that is the name of Indra. Indra's son. So, Jayantaha Kasya Vaisutaha. They are asking the question here. Who is the father of Jayanta? Kasya Vaisutaha. That is Shakra. You know, Shakra means that is Indra. That is the synonym for Indra is Shakra. Why he is called as Shakra? Sha and Kra. I told you. I told you. Shakra means Shatakratu. 100 times Yaga he has done. Shatakratu. That's why there is an abbreviation for Indra. Shakra. Jayantaha Kasya Vaisutaha Shakrasya Sutaha. So the answer is there in one word. Then Katham Vishnupadam Proktam. They ask this question there. How is it easy to achieve? Then they say Durlabham. Takram Shakrasya Durlabham. So Vishnupada is not so easy to achieve. But what Bhagavad Gita Mahatmya says, it says Vishnoh Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitaha. Vishnoh Padamavapnoti. It's very easy. If you chant Bhagavad Gita with full commitment and conviction, then Vishnupada is very easy to get. So they say this. Vishnupada is Vishnoh Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitaha. So if you want to attain Vishnupada, that is moksha, you should be devoid of bhaya and shoka. When do you get bhaya? When do we fear? Or when do we get in sorrow, shoka? So when we are not having knowledge, proper knowledge. So we get fear only when there is darkness. In darkness nobody can go or move freely because they are scared. What animal or what creature will be there in front of us? We don't know. So that means when there is ignorance, that is compared to darkness. Bhaya shokadi varjitaha. When you become free from fear and sorrow, that is the main qualification for attaining Vishnupada. That means you should know the reality. What is the real sense of this creation and world? What is this real world? Because we don't know anything, that's why we get scared. We fear because of our own ignorance. So when you are free from ignorance and sorrow, that is shoka. Why do we do shoka? Because of our ignorance. We don't know. Why do we cry when somebody passes away in our family? Because we know that the relationship is only to the physical relationship. We don't know what is. We say everything. But still, when somebody passes away in our family, we just cry. Why that we do that? Because of our ignorance. We have only limitation that physical thing. We know that Nainam Chintanti Shastrani. You cannot slay this Atma there. But still, only to the physical relationship, when we limit ourselves, then we have this fear and sorrow. When you go beyond this physical, then it becomes spiritual. All your rituals will become spiritual only when it is attached to God. When it is attached to material thing, it doesn't become spiritual. Whatever the action you do, whatever the rituals you do, if it is not connected to God, then it becomes material. All the rituals, if you want to become it spiritual, then the connection should be to the God. Many people, they do the rituals, many rituals, just for the sake of doing. They are not connected to God. Then that does not become spiritual. Okay? So for that reason, we need to know we should be free from fear and sorrow. The freedom from fearless and sorrow, that is the main eligibility for Vishnupada. Vishnu Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitaha. Then the second shloka which says, Gita Dhyena Shīlasya Pranayama Parasya Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Kritanicha. Gita Dhyena Shīlasya. First shloka which makes us do Manasankalpa. That is, you make your mind to chant Bhagavad Gita. Then the second one, Gita Adhyayana Shīlasya. When you make your mind and you start to chant Bhagavad Gita, Gita Adhyayana Shīlasya. They never say Gita Padhana Shīlasya. Please remember, you need to analyze these shlokas. See, each and every shloka, when you analyze it, then you know the real sense. You get enlightenment there. So when you get the enlightenment, you will be thrilled. That thrilling itself is spiritual. Gita Dhyayana Shīlasya You should do adhyayana, not just patana. 99% of all of us we do only patana, not adhyayana. There is a difference between adhyayana and patana. Adhyayana means adhi-ayana. Adhi-ayana is adhyayana. That means we should know the meaning of that and then chant. So that is called as adhyayana. Gita adhyayana shrilasya. One who is completely immersed in the study of Gita. Gita study, that is the real adhyayana. That's why we are called as adhyapakas. Adhyapaka means what? Teacher. But teacher, if you say in English, it doesn't convey the meaning there, perfect meaning. When you say adhyapaka, that means one who understands that and then delivers. He is only adhyapaka. So, the present students, they become adhyapakas in future when they study adhyayana. So, adhi-ayana. Adhi-ayana means complete surrenderance and complete immersion in that topic. That makes you adhyapaka. First, adhyayana. So there are 6 important karmas: adhyayana, adhyapana, yajna, yajana, dana and pratigriha. These are the 6 karmas of a brahmana. Brahmana means what? Please don't think that choti chodiya tilak laga diya to brahmana ho gaya. Nahi. Brahmana means brahmam anati iti brahmana. Brahma means knowledge. One who is behind knowledge is a brahmana. Janmana jayate shudraha samskaro dvijavachyate. That samskara should be there. That samskara will come from your own interest. If you are towards the knowledge, then you are a brahmana. So that's why I always say to my students, even Einstein is a brahmana, Newton is a brahmana, because they are behind knowledge. So many people ask this question. Your Lord Krishna did not know that there are people everywhere in the world, so he just did this Chaturvaranyam Maya Sartam Gunakarma Vivahagashaka, that only in India? I say to them, no, this Varnashrama Paddhati is everywhere all over the world. Wherever there are human beings, this Varnashrama is there. Brahmanas are there in Australia and America also. They are also Brahmanas. The one who goes behind knowledge, he is a Brahmana, definitely. So this realization we should get. Because we have narrowed ourselves, Sankuchita Manobhava, that is, we are narrowing ourselves mentally. So that's why we come to conclusion that who is Brahmana means a person who has shaven his head and pigtail and tilak. So he is a Brahmana. No, that is just external appearance. Your external appearance has got nothing to do with spirituality. Please remember this. What you are internally, that you know very well. How much ever we may show down outside, how much ever we may exhibit, exhibitionism has become it is very pathetic to reveal this. Exhibitionism has become the main criteria in spirituality nowadays. If you don't show up, then nobody will consider you. So what you are internally, that means a lot today. How much you are elevated internally, how much you have analyzed and understood, that makes the most important thing in spirituality, not your external appearance. So that's why many avadhutas or paramahamsas, they are not bothered about the external appearance. They may look like a mad person, but still internally they are very, very elevated. So this thing we must always remember. So Gita Dhyena Shilasya Pranayama Parasya. A person who is immersed in the Gita Adhyayana. Adhyayana means I told you, that means you should enter into the depth there, you should get Anubhava. When you get experience, then your spiritual relationship will improve. All our spiritual actions are based on Anubhava. If you don't experience it, then it is just a mere quotation. There are thousands of Pandits who can quote Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Everything from beginning to end. They can quote from anywhere. They can chant from anywhere if you quiz them. But what is their experience? If you ask, they may not be in a position to say that. Unless and until you experience it, what is your experience of that sloka? Or what is your experience about the topic there, which is being discussed? That is most important. That's why 12th century philosopher Madhvacharya said this. Shastrartha yukta anubhava pramanantu uttamam matam. That means your experience counts. So what is told in Shastra, what is told in Bhagavad Gita, it should come into your experience then. Unless and until you experience, it will just become a quotation, mere quotation there. So you should not become quotation pandit. So you must try to experience it. So that's why Gita Adhyayana will give you real experience. So Gita Adhyayana Shilas, these are the glories of Bhagavad Gita I am talking. Just the glory itself is magnanimous. Then what is the quantity of the magnanimity of the Bhagavad Gita as such? So that we cannot even imagine. Gita Adhyayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya. So how you should do? If you chant Bhagavad Gita, it should be like a pranayama. Doing pranayama it is. Pranayama Parasya. You do just pranayama for the sake of pranayama. Don't do pranayama for the sake of pranayama. Just Gita Adhyayana. That is, your chantings should be accompanied with the breath. That is controlling of the breath. So you cannot stop one shloka when you chant till the end there. So that itself is pranayama. So here in Bhagavad Gita, we have all Anushtup Chandas, 32 syllable letters, shlokas, which are very easy. There are so many chandas which are very large. So you need to hold your breath. That holding your breath itself is pranayama. That itself is it. So that's why you get the benefit of chanting when you chant perfectly. So you cannot break in between. You cannot take breath in between the shlokas there. Just one example I will give you. A long one. Pantvasman Ruhuta Vairi Palavan Makankama Didgata Kumbhochada Vivadana Dilavadu Pratyeka Vajrayita. That is again 19 syllable. It is 19 letter. So you cannot take breath there. So that itself is pranayama. So in Bhagavad Gita also they say Gita Adhyayana Shilasya Pranayama Prasya Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Kritani. So beautiful it is. It says, see, this may be an exaggeration there. There is no sinner. Nobody in this world can raise his hand and claim that, oh, I am not a sinner. I have not done any mistake in my life. There is no person on this earth who can raise his hand and say that I have not done any mistake in my life. All are there. All are sinners only. Some may be little less and some may be more. That's all. The quantity may vary, increase or decrease. But everybody is definitely, we do mistakes. But what Gita says here, Naiva Santihi Papani, one who does Adhyayana of Bhagavad Gita along with Pranayama Parasya, Naiva Santihi Papani. So what? He will be free from all his sins. What sins? Not in this life. Purva Janma Kritani. Even the previous life sins also will be nullified. So this is the glory of Bhagavad Gita. When we understand the glory, definitely the mind gets thrilled. This is not an exaggeration there, but still they say that all your sins will be nullified when you do Bhagavad Gita again. It should be real Adhyayana, not just Patana. But very rarely we find such type of Adhyayana there. So Gita Adhyayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Kritani. The third one sloka, there I will end this session. Malanimochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrat Gitam Vasisnanam Samsara Malanashanam. 3 shlokas we have analyzed today. In my next session we will go to all the 4 shlokas and then we go into the Dhyana shloka of Bhagavad Gita and then how to study Bhagavad Gita, then it will start. So third shloka which says the glory of Bhagavad Gita, Mala Vinimochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrat Gitam Vasisnanam Samsara Malanashanam. See, we all have taken birth as a human being. We think that, oh, this life is very great. Yes, definitely. But they say that, S-VYASA, he says that this is samsara, is a mala. Samsara is a dirt which is attached to this soul. Like we take bath regularly, mala nirmochanam pumsam jalasnanam dine dine. There are many people in different religions, they say that we don't take bath regularly. That is not correct. Everyone, if you are a human being, you must take bath regularly. To remove the dirt from the body, you need to take bath regularly. Jalasnanam dine. As we do like that, Sakrat Gitam Vasisnanam Samsara Malanashanam. This samsara or the cycle of birth and death is like a dirt which is attached to this soul. So if you want to remove this, then you need to take bath in Gitam Vasisnanam. Gita Adhyayana itself is like taking bath spiritually. You should feel that anubhava you should get when you are doing Adhyayana or when you are listening to about Bhagavad Gita, you should feel that you are getting drenched in the Gitamrasi. That feeling you should get. When you feel that, then that is the real inner bath. There is no soap which is invented till today to clean the mind. So there is no soaps. Only externally you apply. So what internal purity? Internal purity is this chanting itself. Adhyayana itself makes you very pure. Okay? So with this, let us end this session. Next session we will continue with the fourth shloka. Hari Om Tat Sat.